Hello everyone, I hope you are doing well. Thank you for your encouragement on the internal style system contract format for the last couple of videos. I will keep working on this format in explaining other topics in the upcoming videos. In teaching, I believe that it's a teacher's responsibility to ensure the accuracy, precision, and the comprehensibility of a topic. This is why I'm trying to use different ways to explain different topics. If you have any suggestions such as an interesting topic, a new approach in presenting the information, or any method for me to adapt to improve the quality of my video, please leave a comment and I will take your suggestion into consideration. I'd much rather we have an inclusive community instead of me just delivering one-way lectures. So, thank you in advance. Recently, I received an email asking me about the correct way to practice the beginning form in the internal styles. I realized that it is an interesting but often overlooked topic, and I will talk about it in today's video. So, topics covered in today's video include 1. Wuji, Tai Chi, and Liangyi. 2. The evolution of beginning form. 3. 3 internal styles beginning form breaks down. 4. Demonstration. 5. Takeaways. In this video, I will add more demonstration samples for different beginning forms of each style. You can always pick up one of them and add it to your practice if you have not practiced any beginning form before. So let's get started. Topic 1. Wuji, Tai Chi, and Liangyi. I will only briefly introduce these 3 terms because I'd like to focus on the physical practice in this video. Wuji, or non-polarization, consists of 2 words. Wu means non-existing. Ji means polarization. Together, Wuji means an unpolarized state. This term was from Tao Te Ching, the book written by Lao Tzu. I have already introduced him in my prior video on Taoism. Link is in the description. Please have a look if you haven't already. In the 28th chapters of Tao Te Ching, Lao Tzu said, 复归于无极, or returning to the non-polarization state, which is used to describe the nature of the Tao. So, Wuji is a term used to describe a state of intangibility. In other words, a state without form, color, sound, beginning, ending, and name. In modern terms, it means the origin of the universe. You should also consider this to mean the state before the Big Bang. Tai Chi as a term, most people believe is to be from the I Ching of the Book of Change because it mentioned a sentences that beginning with there is a Tai Chi in the changes. Here, Tai is synonymous with great or supreme, but it also interpreted as undifferentiated absolute and infinite potential, since it can generate other entities. Ji means pole or polarization. However, to the meaning of this term, Tai Chi, there are multiple explanations and they are disputable. For example, in the Han Dynasty, 202 BCE to 220 CE, most people believed Tai Chi to be the unpolarized energy in the universe. Then, in the Tang Dynasty, 618 to 906 CE. Some scholars believed Tai Chi to be the origin of the universe, or the universe itself. This was not consistent with the concept of unpolarized energy as mentioned in the Han Dynasty. Later, Zhu Xi, from 1130 to 1200 CE, a prominent Song Dynasty philosopher, scholar, and politician, said that Tai Chi is the Tao, or the principle in the universe, which include yin-yang, softness, hardness, and so on. Later scholars such as Zhang Zai, from 1020 to 1077 CE, believed that the union of opposites, including yin and yang, is Tai Chi. Of course, there are other beliefs as well, but the most widely accepted and popular definition of Tai Chi, including the martial art community, is the unpolarized energy in the universe. So, the great polarization is the state before polarization, or the separation of differentiated energies, yin and yang. Now, let's talk about Liangyi. Liangyi consists of two parts. Liang means two, Yi means poles. Together, Liangyi is the term used to describe the state of separation of yin and yang, which contrasts with Tai Chi, the union of yin and yang. The explanation of this term has the same issue as Tai Chi. Different scholars throughout history assigned different explanations to this term. Since these terms are related to Chinese philosophy, which were used to describe and explain the nature of the universe, it is normal that there is more than one meaning. However, if we put these three terms together, overall, they are used to express the development of the universe, from simple to complex, from zero to myriad things. So, the relationship among these three terms is Wuji sheng Tai Chi. Wuji generates Tai Chi, or unpolarized state generates the great polarization. Taiji sheng Liangyi. Tai Chi generates Liangyi, or great polarization generates the separation of two poles. Then Liangyi generates other entities. Now, you may ask me why I'm talking about this. Well, if you have read some Chinese martial art books, especially books written before the 1950s, those terms are commonly used in those training manuals to describe the traditional form, especially for the beginning form of different styles. Topic 2. The evolution of beginning form. Now, let's talk about the brief history of the beginning form in Chinese martial art system. Since Chinese martial arts originated in the battlefield, there was no such term or a specific movement as a beginning form. Also, most research indicates that the weapons training came much earlier than bare hand training in Chinese martial art systems. It is very easy to understand that in the battlefield, soldiers primarily used weapons in combat, with bare hands only being a last resort. Otherwise, military soldiers would be at a higher level of risk in a military conflict. The ancient Chinese military training manuals indicate that the systematic bare hand training was initiated only about 700 years ago, but weapon training came much earlier. In the context of weapons training, there was no such term as a beginning form in those ancient military training manuals either. For example, in modern times, a martial artist holds a sword with his left hand before the formal demonstration, while the right hand will be used during the demonstration. But in the ancient military training manuals, soldiers only used the right hand to hold a single-hand weapon, such as a sword, saber, and so on. Even about 150 years ago, most martial artists would only use the right hand to hold the weapon before and during a demonstration. Again, the reason is very simple, that martial artists back then still followed the ancient battlefield tradition in terms of handling the weapons. Similarly, the bare hand training format followed the same pattern as the weapon format. There was no official beginning form at all until about 150 years ago. Regarding the three internal styles, some branches have an elaborate beginning form, while some others only have a very simple version. However, no matter if elaborated beginning form or otherwise, all the internal styles follow the same process in beginning form practice. Start with the Wuji stance, transition to the Tai Chi stance, transition to the Liangyi stance. I will explain it in the next topic, so please keep watching. Topic 3. 3 internal styles beginning form breakdown. The Wuji stance is the first posture in every internal style. During this, one simply stands straight and the mind does not focus on any specific area, movement, or thought. The overall mental state is that of intentionless tranquility. This state of mind is consistent with the term Wuji. Let me remind you that Wuji is a state of unpolarized energy. Then one starts to focus on the body or certain areas of the body. At this stage, all of the cells start to make subtle movements. This stage involves focusing on intention and small physical adjustments, but no big movement. In other words, things are happening, but nothing too obvious. That is the Taiji state. Later, one starts to make obvious or observable movements that vary from one style to another. Since that stage involves body weight distribution on feet and often some footwork, that stage is called Liangyi. That is the basic application of the concept of Wuji, Taiji, and Liangyi in the beginning form of each internal style. Since this video focused on the differences of each style by using the contracting method, I will mainly talk about the different practice of each major style. Let's start with Xing Yi. Basically, there are 3 variations of the beginning form in Xing Yi. First, the simplest one, starting from the Wuji stance, then shift the body weight to one leg and practice other movement to get to the Liangyi. After the Liangyi step, just move up the hand in front of the stomach, then change to the Santi stance. Xing Yi and Sun Lutang both used this method. Some students of Xing Yi changed to the middle or the complex variation later. But the Sun Lutang branch still follows this method. Check out the following video for demonstration. The first type of Xing Yi beginning form from Wuji stance. then Liangyi stance, then directly. Second, the middle one. This method differs from the previous one based on its Liangyi steps. Some styles like Xuedian's Xing Yi apply this variation, as you see in this clip. The second variation of Xing Yi beginning form starts from the Wuji stance. Then three, the complex one. This approach started from 1920s. Zhang Zhaodong and some students of Xing Yi used this method. The main difference is that after the Tai Chi stance, hands move upward from the side of the body and then move downward in front of the body. Then transition to Liangyi stance, similar to the middle variation, or directly connect to Santi stance. Please watch this video. The third type of, which is the most popular beginning form now. So, from Wuji stance and Liangyi stance, then here. Now, let's move on to Bagua. Let's take Cheng style as an example to elaborate it. Most of the other Bagua styles follow the same pattern as well. There are two popular ways to practice the beginning form. First, the simple way. After the Liangyi step, hands just move upward from the original position, then connect to the next movement. A Bagua stance, imagine here is the center of the circle. So they can start from either direction, normally start from this direction. They start Wuji stance, then gradually change to the Bagua stance, or any posture. Even can be like some Wuji stance, then shift the weight to Liangyi stance, then start to walk. Okay, that's the first type of. The second, the formal way. Similar to the third variation of the Xingyi beginning form, that hands move upward from the side of the body and then move downward in front of the body. Then connect to other movement of a routine. From Wuji stance, then change to Liangyi stance. Then continue other movements. Tai Chi. Now, let's talk about Tai Chi's beginning form. Most Tai Chi styles follow either of two methods. Feet are apart during all of the Wuji, Tai Chi, and Liangyi stance. Let me demonstrate the Chen style beginning form here. Tai Chi. Most of the Tai Chi practice, especially the early stage of Tai Chi practice, they keep the feet apart. So beginning, that's the Wuji stance. Like in Chen style, we focused on nothing. Then gradually we should change to Liangyi stance or Tai Chi stance. So sit down. Now then connect to Liangyi. Second, feet are close together in Wuji and Tai Chi, then set apart during Liangyi. The second type of Tai Chi beginning form, they stand like this. It comes much later. And then after the Wuji stance, then become a Tai Chi stance. Then shift the weight. Then connect to other exercise. I have briefly introduced the beginning form of each major branch of the three internal styles of martial arts. Of course, there are some variations of this practice, but They all follow the same principle. Same mental state of Wuji stance, same subtle movement of Tai Chi stance, and then the same obvious movement in Liangyi stance. The major differences is in the Liangyi stance and the following practice according to the specific style. Topic 4. Demonstration. In Xingyi practice, years ago for myself and for my students, I created a new variation of beginning form, which is the combination of the second and the third variations. I combined Xue Dian's and Zhang Zhaodong's practice. I think it can take advantage of both these variations. If you practice Xingyi, I hope you will adapt this method because it emphasizes the correct Xingyi body structure, such as Long Zhe Shen or dragon folding the body in the beginning form. The beginning form of the Xingyi practice, I prefer that it's the combination of a Xue Dian and the Zhang Zhaodong practice. So we start from the Wuji stance. We focus on nothing, just all focus on the surrounding area. Then gradually withdraw the intention from outside to inside of the body. Then start to the Tai Chi stance. Turn the foot, then gradually palms move up from the side of the body. Then do not shoulder sink down, elbow sink down, then palm sink down, then body sinks down. Then change the palm into fist, shift the weight, then step, then come to the Santi stance. So, in the future, I hope before practicing any routine, we should start from the beginning form. In the beginning form, let's start from the Wuji stance, then Tai Chi stance, then Liangyi stance, then continue other routines depending on which style you will practice. And make sure that our mind and physical body are ready before any practice. Topic 5. Takeaways. This video included a lot of short demonstrations. I hope you will revisit the demonstration parts again. First, brief history of Wuji, Tai Chi, and Liangyi has been introduced. Traditional martial art practice uses traditional terms. Second, the beginning form for each internal style already emphasizes on the internal practice involving Wuji, Tai Chi, and Liangyi. Please do not neglect this step. Going forward, I recommend you consciously think of those concepts when performing the beginning form instead of just doing them mechanically. 3. The beginning form for each style of internal martial art along with their variations have been discussed and demonstrated. I hope you will adapt my Xingyi beginning form due to its unique Long Zhe Shen body structure. Let me know how it affects your Xingyi practice. Thank you for watching, see you next time, and enjoy your practice.